But I'm starting this video off with the BS. I'm starting off with the BS because I've seen some things which I saw them last week before the game that really irked me, really kind of upset me. But I said, you know what? I'm gonna let it pass over because I don't really think it's that serious. However, at the conclusion of the game, it was that serious. What's up, Sterling? So I'm gonna address the BS first, which includes the refs. Then we're gonna get to the game, so we can end this on a somber note. We're gonna end this on a somber note, right? So let me go back. Let me go back to last year for a second, right? We're talking about Jakari Brown. So what I've realized is that we have a lot of pseudo talent evaluators within the Miami Hurricane fan base, and unfortunately, they give the real talent evaluators that maybe former coaches, maybe former players that played at a high level, or maybe even guys that actually are devoted to this, right? Give those guys a bad name. So, Jakari Brown is recruited, and it was QB1 for Rhett Lashley and Manny Diaz. And the knock was, well, he's gonna need some work with his passing. He's not as accurate as he needs to be, right? So full transparency. When I saw that, my thing was, I said, well, hey, look, man, if the young man is struggling with accuracy and things of that nature, I said, that's not fair. What's good, Pilo? I said, that's not fair to our wide receivers and tight ends and things like that if we're getting a quarterback that can't throw the ball. That's what I said, right? So the pseudos came back and said, well, no, Shy, you shouldn't look at it like that. He's a 2 to 3 year project. I want y'all to remember that. 2 to 3 year project. He's not really going to see the field. Look at what we got. We got TVD, Jake, all this. They're going to play before he touches the field. I said, all right, cool, fine, right? He's Cam Newton. He's Vince Young. I didn't say this because I don't like putting those type of expectations on players, right? So I said, cool. So obviously that particular plan goes up in flames. TVD does what he does. We all remember 2022. And Jakari starts the Georgia Tech game, plays as well as he could play under the circumstances that were presented in front of him. And obviously we go to Clemson. And for whatever reason, last week before the game, about Thursday, I was on Twitter and I saw somebody show the clip of Jakari missing a pass to Xavier Restrepo. And the caption read, so this is the guy that you want to replace TVD with. And I said to myself, it's astonishing that there's that's not the only pass that he threw in the Clemson game. It's not the only pass that he missed in the Clemson game. He made some passes. He made some passes against Georgia Tech. But for whatever reason, this particular pass is somehow the how do I want to say it? This is what they want to use to somewhat discredit Jakari. It's cool. All right. So let's go back a little bit. Let's go back again. Let's go back to Canes Fest. I didn't go to Canes Fest. Heard about Canes Fest. It wasn't recorded. So if you weren't there, any information that you got from Canes Fest, it was secondhand information. Right? So, shout out. What's up, QB? So shout out Groove and A Black. Shout out Storm Warning. Right? So this is before the season started. So I go on their show. And, just talking about what we can expect from the team and all that stuff like that. So one of their subscribers, he taps in, Negus. Negus went to the Canes Fest game. And so when Negus tapped in, A Black stated that before we end this, I want to speak about something, right? This is what A Black said. I'm sitting there thinking to myself, I said, okay, what's up? That's what I'm thinking to myself. So once we got through all of that, A Black spoke. And pay attention. These were not A Black's words. These are my words saying what A Black said. But these are my words. These are my words. These are not his words. These are my words. These are not A Black's words. These are my words. This is what A Black said in my words. Jakari came into the game and he struggled a little bit. And it was some hoe ass Miami Hurricane fans that began to boo him and said they wanted Emory in the game. Again, my words, not A Black, because A Black was a lot nicer. But hoe ass Miami Hurricane fans, right? So I said, okay, well, this is what it is. So Jakari, being a selfless player, goes out and said, hey, look, I want a red shirt. I want to learn how to play the position, right? I want to see the game, right? Which was obviously supposed to be the plan last year, but it didn't work. So we're going through this season. Everything's going well. TVD hits a bump in the road against Georgia Tech, and all of a sudden, the individuals who were, I'm assuming, were all behind Jake Garcia, and Jake didn't work. New toy. That's why I don't listen to Star and QB Slam. Facts. So now Jake is not there. So now it's Emory. And this is and I'm not taking any shots at Emory. It's just that unfortunately he may take a couple strays in this, right? But I'm using their logic against them, right? So again, remember, I said Jakari is supposed to be a 2 to 3 year project according to pseudo talent evaluators, right? So obviously TVD cannot play against Clemson, which kind of the more I think his family Jakari wants to sit the year and learn positions where gas and injuries put. Exactly. Sterling, 1,000%. 1,000%. So we go out, we just play Clemson. And I'm going to be honest, I didn't see anything special. There was nothing special about that. There's nothing special about averaging 4 yards a pass, throwing screen passes, putting 9 people in the box, and throwing it to a 6'5" receiver. Not saying Emory can't improve, but that's not anything special to me, right? So all of a sudden now, individuals are comparing what Jakari did against Clemson to what Emory Williams did. Bro, these hoe ass people are comparing what Jakari did against Clemson to what Emory Williams did. Like, bro, how do you, like, what type of hate, what type of mindset do you have to say, I'm going to take a game where I have a better offensive line, I have a better offensive coordinator, I have better guys around me, to a situation where the bottom fell out. O-line, D-line played their best game. Jakari went opposite DJ Watt, Emory. Where the bottom fell out. And what I don't like is Jakari is getting no credit for Georgia Tech, but Cam gets credit for Georgia Tech. That was Cam's best game of the season. That game buoyed him to first team All-American safety, which that's great. But a man that wasn't supposed to even see the field accounts for 3 touchdowns and over 80 yards on the ground. And now y'all want to talk about defensive rankings. Rankings don't matter. We were bad. Georgia Tech was bad. Somebody had to win, but we didn't have to win it that way because that was our best game played of the entire year. But now y'all want to compare his Clemson performance against Emory Williams' Clemson performance. Like what are we talking about here? So, now, I'm going to tell you what really pissed me off. Some of y'all may know I'm on the 247 message board. Same name, Shy1419. That's me. Been on there since 2012. That's just one particular person. I'm not gonna say the name because it's not important to say the name. But he's one of those pseudo talent evaluators that I'm talking about. He was one of the main people that said Jakari is a 2 to 3 year project. Now, mind you, guess where we are right now? We're not even at 2 years. We're at a year and a half. He is one of the ones that said 2 to 3 years. He was. Pseudo. And this coward put on the board, I think Jakari should move to tight end. Did I listen? No, Joe. I don't listen to pressers because the reason I don't listen to them is because I know what you're going to say. It's only so many ways you can say, I'm proud of the team, or we need to improve, or we don't disclose injuries, or the team that we're playing, they have some talent over there, don't let their record fool you. It's only so many ways you can say that. I don't listen to him. No disrespect, but I don't listen to him. So, this individual was the main one that said this man needs 2 to 3 years. And now you have turned around and now you have said, well, I think he should move to tight end. And I'm like, bro, he was one of the main ones that, and so this is what I don't like. I don't like that people get to delete tweets. People get to hide behind moderators on message boards because moderators want to say, well, we don't want anyone bringing up old threads of what people said because that's like a form of cyberbullying. I don't like that you don't get to get held accountable for the BS that you said because you don't want to stand on business. Because it's cool now to fall in love with the new toy and completely just disregard the old toy, who some of y'all had the nerve, who said, oh, well, you know what, in a couple of years, when he's ready to go, I can see him leading us to a national championship. Where did that talk go to? So a man throws 26 screen passes and throws 2 passes to Kobe Young, and all of a sudden, y'all talking about it feels like 1999 again with Ken Dorsey. Man, bruh. I don't know how y'all sleep with y'all selves at night, man. Knowing that you can wake up, get on the internet, and say this, and be cool with it. And you can wake up, you can say the way he threw the screen pass. What do you mean the way he threw it? Because he don't throw with the laces? Now again, Emory may just turn out to be a fantastic quarterback, but again, y'all said 2 to 3 years. So realistically, you can't be making these declarations until at least next spring and fall camp before y'all really can start saying it. Because again, when Gary Furman said it, he should move to running back, everybody was up in arms. Oh, Gary, F you lost all credibility with the John Gruden stuff. It was cool then. All right, OG Kane. It was cool. Man, I don't know what's going on with my phone, bro. Like, I can't even read. I can't even make out what y'all saying. Pretty much said Emory. I can't even read that. I don't know if it's my phone. I can't even see what you... Let me see. What if I hit that button? I can't even see. Much said about Emory, TVD, somebody red shirt. I mean, I've kind of read some articles, but I just cannot see. I can't see. It's like it's smudging together. So, but that's what that is. So y'all really can't make these grand declarations until at least spring, right? And so you got dudes saying, I seen all I need to see. So what's funny to me is that you saying that, okay, this is Vince Young, this is Cam Newton. And y'all are talking about Cam Newton 2010. Y'all talking about Vince Young 2005. That's what y'all are talking about. Y'all are talking about finished products. It's just like the old saying goes, nobody cares about the labor, but everybody want to see the baby. If you look at some of the completion percentages and some of the games Vince Young had leading up to 2005, based on some of the information I see that y'all putting out there, y'all would have said he should have moved to wide receiver after his freshman year. But it's cool, though. It's cool. Because y'all don't stand on business. When opposite DJ. Yeah, P-Lo. Yeah, because the thing about that is like Clemson was a better team last year. Right? Clemson was a better team last year. And I'm gonna address that too. They were a better team last year. We were a worse team last year. It just so happened to even out this year. Simple as that. But it's still a big win. We got the monkey off our back, so I'm not diminishing in any type of way. I don't care. Because like I said on Coach Hayes' show, Clemson ain't never been a good Miami team. And when they get another good team, let us know. We'll go right up there to Death Valley and we'll play y'all again. That's for any Clemson. A good Clemson team. I want them to come back and tell me that. Okay, JB will never get a fair shot because he was put in a position to show he's a pocket passer when he's not type QB. You know, Jordan, that was the big thing when they were talking about the Canes Fest situation. They were like, man, Jakari really couldn't even show everything that he could do. And that's another thing. And no disrespect to people that say this, but I don't like hearing about Jakari coming in for packages. I don't want to hear nothing about no packages. I really don't. Because if you put a man in for packages, how is he getting better at what he was recruited to do, which is play quarterback? It's such an easy read to read the end man on the line of scrimmage, whether or not to pull it or, pull it or hand it off. That's an easy read. What about at the snap of the ball and they come out in cover 2 look, but once the ball is snapped, they move to a cover 3, and your mind got to go to, okay, what are the open spots for cover 3? Or if they come out in a cover 3 look and they roll back to a cover 2, okay, what are now the reads for a cover 2 now? You don't get all that in packages. I don't want to hear nothing about no packages anymore. And that's no disrespect to anybody that says that, but I'm just talking about me. I don't want to hear nothing else about no packages. If the young man don't play this year, I'm cool with it because all I want is to make sure that he got a fair opportunity when spring ball rolls around. Whether TVD is here or we go get a transfer, I don't care. Let him get a fair shot. That's what he deserves. But I don't want to hear nothing about no packages. For what? That's just like I watching the Ohio State game. Devin Brown had became their red zone quarterback. And all Devin Brown was doing was either handing the ball off or, running it himself. He ended up getting hurt. But before the play he got hurt, the announcers made a statement. They said, this is the Devin Brown package. But eventually, they're going to have to put a pass into this package. So, my thing is, forget packages. If he's going to play quarterback, send him out there. He can go out there and throw 25 screen routes. Like some dude told me, he said, bro, Jakari only had 50 yards passing against Clemson. And I'm looking at okay, well, he had 50 yards passing on 13 passes. Emory had 33 passes and 150 yards. How is that any better? But y'all want to compare games. But anyway, I'm through with that. So let's move on to the referees. That was a safety. I don't have to elaborate on that. Everybody knows it was a safety. So I don't have to elaborate on it. But it's one play that wasn't called that I want to talk about. And the reason I want to talk about it is because when we played Georgia Tech, Kiko was flagged for a roughing the passer, where he was tripped and he inadvertently hit Haynes King low and they threw the flag. And I remember I was on the message board and the guy was like, man, that's just a weak penalty. And I'm like, no, I agree with it, because if the roles were reversed and the shoe was on the other foot, I would want them to call it on for us. Well, apparently the roles did get reversed and the shoe did get put on the other foot and they didn't call it. That was a play where a Clemson defender was not tripped, he was not pushed, he was not aided in any shape, form, or fashion. He dove at the back of Emery's knees and hit him, and no flag. No flag. So those are the plays that I get upset about. I don't really care about the situation about holding in the offensive line and stuff like that, because the way I look at it, and I'm sure I'm not the only one that watched the game like this, when we're watching defense, especially with Bain and LT, we looking at the defensive line to see that. Ellen, I can't read none of y'all chat, man. I don't know. It's like it's blurry. Like it's like it's nothing I can do. I really can't. I can't see it. Like I don't know what it is. I don't know. And it's like I don't know. I don't know. Y'all might have to put this in the comments after the video or something. I'll just try to go back and answer it. I'm gonna make this video short because I don't like that I can't see the I can't make out the chat. So I don't know. It's nothing I can do. But yeah, so when we're looking at the defense, we're looking at the defensive line because we got Bain, LT. So we're looking to see that. And we can see the holes. But from an offensive standpoint, we're trying to look and see, okay, are we running the ball? Okay, we're not running the ball. Okay, we're passing it. We're looking at the quarterback. We're not necessarily looking at whether or not our guys are holding. And sometimes I do that. I say, okay, well, yeah, our guys are getting away with some holding. You know, maybe their guys are getting away with a little bit more egregious holds every now and again, but we may get away with a couple of egregious holds too. So I don't really get upset about the offensive line, defensive line dynamic. But those type of plays and the whole Matt Lee tripping in front of a Clemson guy, and they call illegal chop block when my guy just slipped. No one like he just slipped and fell. So like those type of plays and penalties, I get upset about. You know, so that's what I get upset about. So getting to the game, like I said, I hate that I can't read the comments. So this will be my last little thing. This will be short today. So kudos to the offensive line. Kudos to the offensive line for, opening up some holes. It was great to see Brashard, get in the game and bust one wide open. And it was so crazy, man, because it's like, bro, Brashard had fumbled. And I said, man, please let us get this ball back, because we had just forced a fumble for on them. And that would have been like, man, that would have been a huge change in momentum had it been a situation where Jacoby George did not recover that fumble. So kudos to him for not giving up. But I don't have much to say about the offense, man. I mean, the offensive line did what they supposed to do. The running backs ran hard, with the exception of Brashard, because he had that 80-yard run. The other backs averaged about 3.7 yards a carry, which, again, you run the ball 3 times, that's a first down. So you can't ask for too much more than that against a defense like that. So that was great. But no, I'm not about to overvalue or overhype, as y'all said, 66 screens. I'm not doing that whatsoever. So it was a nice first showing, and people are making it more than what it is, and now they got the whole thing in the back pocket and say, oh, well, just imagine what he would have done if we didn't run a conservative playbook. Pseudo talent evaluators. Anyway, defensively, LT and Bane, man, if they can keep, which I can't expect for them to play at this level every game, but if they can give us at least 3/4 of that performance the rest of the season, the defensive line, and I think the secondary got to tighten up for real. I know some of the yards can be skewed by the by that one big long pass that the tight end had, and obviously another pass that the tight end had. So those numbers could kind of be skewed because they didn't really hurt us on the receiver standpoint. Obviously they had the jump ball, but they tried that twice and we was able to get it. And then the last one they got it. So, but I think if we can get that, but it was great that we made them one dimensional for the most part. So I like that. We're going into UVA. UVA plays us tough. Bang tossed that about like a rag doll. You know what? I can read the bottom, but I don't know what it is because it's like Dro and Pilo message was like together. Like that's crazy. Like they're on top of each other. I don't know what that is. Shoot. Oh, that's the way I have to read it. So I have to individually press. May just had to be there to see Bane toss that like a rag. Toss. Yeah, okay. That's the only way I can read it if I click on it like that. Okay. Yeah, I was scared about that fumble. Okay. Dang. Now what is this? That's gonna be annoying. Pilo, you went. Okay. QB, E Brown basketball hoop, and the way to come in. Hey, you about right, because this is crazy. I can't, I've never seen this before. I literally have to click on the names to read the comment. Pilo said, boy, I don't know. I'm not even going to try because it's messing me up. I can see the emojis. But anyway, so, but yeah, on that particular play, when Bane had the strip sack, I said, man, if we could have got the ball back right there, and they were able to pick it up and advance it a little bit. But if we would have been able to get that right there, I think that would have really, did some, was able to do some things. Now, the big thing that most people were talking about, pause, was Coach Cristobal being ultra conservative going into overtime. And I, for one, when we had 55 seconds, I believe, was on the clock, I, for one, thought that, okay, we're going to try to make some plays, and we're going to go ahead and try to end this in regulation. But when I saw we taking a huddle, I saw that now we got like 22 seconds left. We run like a run play, and then we go ahead and go to overtime. I didn't have the same mindset that I had going back to 2021 when Manny Diaz played for the field goal against Virginia. And did he get blocked or he missed it? I can't remember. But obviously we didn't get the points, and Virginia ended up beating us, winning that particular game back in 2021. I felt confident going to overtime. The reason I felt confident is because of the drive that we had leading up to that final possession, where we just were able to run the ball. Emory made a couple of, throws and stuff like that. And then we ultimately got to throw in the end zone to Kobe, to tie the game up. And I knew that the defense was rested. I knew that Clemson didn't have anything offensively that was going to damage us. Now, obviously, of course, you got the run, you got the risk of maybe they, would have maybe broke one or something like that. But I had the utmost confidence in the defense going into that overtime period. And I'm going to say something else, though. I'm going to tell you a play that bailed us out. That horse collar penalty that they had. And I'm going to tell you why it bailed us out. It bailed us out for two reasons. It bailed us out because that was third down. And so, obviously, we weren't going to go for it on fourth. So, we were going to have to line up and kick a field goal. So, all Clemson would have needed was a score to win the game. And the other reason it bailed us out is because when they had the on-field angle of the penalty, I'm like, who is Emory throwing the ball to? Like, I see a Kane player right there, but he's not open. Who is he throwing the ball to? So, Had that player not put a horse collar on Emory, that very well could have been an interception. And all Clemson would have had to do was get the ball and line up for a field goal. Maybe run it a few times to see if they can get the ball centered. And we would have had our fingers crossed for a block. So, thank you, Clemson, for horse collar tackling Emory Williams and giving us a fresh set of downs. So that way we can go ahead and run the ball in and get, and get the score. So, kudos to them for being a undisciplined team. I'm trying to see, what does that say? If Emory pressed the gas, he could have ran for a defender was falling. Hey, Ellen, I'm going to tell you what's funny about that. All I heard during the game was, bro, man, Emory's so, man, he ain't like Tyler. He got that mobility. That's all I heard. But like you said, if that's what it was, I tell you who would have took off running. That doggone Jake Garcia. I tell you, Jake would have tucked in and ran. But it is what it is. But yeah, that was a real monumental. What does that say? Oh yeah, that was a real that was a real blunder on their behalf, right? By making that particular penalty like that. And we got the W. So we got to go in. Poor Jake. Yeah, poor Jake. And you know what's so bad about the Jake thing is that they hyped Jake up to the moon. And so now, when anyone talks about him or when anyone was being critical of Jake, it sounded like that you were being, like people were being overly critical of him. But it's like, no, we're matching the same energy that y'all pseudo talent evaluators put out there. Right? He's the highest rated Miami quarterback in history. He came from California to Georgia, won a state title. He's this, he's that. But it's like, it is what it is. I still ain't forgave Mario for letting Jake walk instead of Tyler. I don't know, P-Lo. I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I don't like to get up and I learned my lesson about the picking quarterbacks when the Kelsey period was here. And I said, you know what? I'm not going to do that anymore because I'm not going to put my biases towards someone because I got to be objective. I got to be able to look at the whole bigger picture. And at that particular time, Nkosi wasn't probably the best option for us to be, the best option at quarterback for us. They did. The O-line was garbage and he got ished on for it. Exactly. So, I mean, that's why I say don't push guys to the moon. So now they're doing it again. So now Emory is Ken Dorsey. So what they're going to come out and say is, eventually, oh, he's just a freshman. Oh, man, y'all being too critical. It's like, no. Y'all said he was this. Y'all said he was that. Y'all say he's better than Jaden Rashada. So cool. So if it's really like that, then let him perform like that. And if you don't perform like that, hey, he gotta come see it. He gotta come see it. He gotta come see the critics or whatever like that, right? But like I said, I can't see that, man. Ken Dorsey. Ellen, I done heard Ken Dorsey. Ellen, I'm gonna tell you the first time I heard someone say that crap, bro. That was back when Ryan Williams was here. He had number 11 on and everything. He was Ken Dorsey. Like he said, Ken Dorsey was his favorite player. And everybody was, oh, man, Ken Dorsey. And obviously, Brad Kaya ended up winning the starting job. And, there was kind of a little dysfunction in that particular season. But, yeah, so, yeah, they still looking for Ken Dorsey. They still looking for Ken. What QB say Judd Anderson about to be the next Josh Allen because Emory not mobile? QB, where you hear Emory ain't mobile at? That ain't what I heard. That ain't what I heard. What P-Lo say. So we chasing Ken Dorsey instead of a third quarterback. Hey, P-Lo, we ain't chasing it. We trying to modernize college football. We trying to get with the Joneses. Because if you look at it right now, it's only one quarterback from a top team that's not mobile right now, and that's Michael Penix. And I think he can move. He just chooses not to do that. That's you know what I'm saying? That's my thought about it. You know what I mean? But yeah, but I heard Emory is real mobile. They still in the past. Boy, I wish I need a soundboard like Coach Hayes so I can play back in the day. Pilo, no one knows what they want. They just want. Yeah, don't nobody know what they want, man. Don't nobody know what they want. For real, for real. Like they don't know what they want. They say one thing and they say another. You know, that's why I say it's no accountability. I'm gonna tell you something else. I'm gonna say this. In closing, I'm gonna actually I'm gonna say these. I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna say what I'm about to say has applied to the last 4 quarterbacks that have played. Listen to this. Tell me, do this sound familiar to you? Oh man, he has so much poise. Look at the command of the offense that he has. Man, look how the team gravitates towards him. Man, look at how our last quarterback, he didn't have this type of emotion. Where y'all heard that from? Let me tell y'all where I heard that from. I heard that about TVD. I heard that about Jay Garcia. I heard that about Jakari, and now I'm hearing it about Emory Williams. I can go back further because it's been the same rhetoric over and over again, but I'll just stick with those 4. So imagine these individuals who don't have to be held accountable can say this about every single quarterback every year. Because I still bring it up now. These same individuals were commending Jakari in the Georgia Tech game for saying, look at Jakari setting the protection, and he's just a freshman. Look at the poise that he has. He's just a freshman. The moment don't look too big for him. I heard that with TVD, especially when he made that declaration about NC State. I heard about Jake. What was about Jake? Man, Jake had so much moxie. These people can get on here, man, and say the same stuff over and over and over and over and over again. They can say the same stuff over and over again. So let Emory not work out, and it's gonna be, oh man, he's a gamer. Hey, QB, I'm glad you brought that up, because you know what name came to my mind when you said that? Tate Martell. Because reports were Tate is not practicing well. He don't look good in practice. Guess what these pseudo talent evaluators said? Oh man, Tate's a gamer. You know, you got some people, they don't look good in practice, but Tate's a gamer. So, and let me tell you again, let me show you how they talk out of both sides of their mouth. But they say Jakari is struggling in practice. Jakari's struggling. He still can't complete simple passes. But that was but you said Tate Martell, he couldn't do any of that, but you said Tate Martell was as good as Kyler Murray. Man, I don't miss a moment trying to step on these dudes' neck, man. Man, Ellen, everybody's elite. Everybody elite. Now they saying, well, man, you know, Emory would have been a 4-star, you know, if he played at a different school and he didn't have any weapons. I'm gonna tell you what quarterback I heard that about. I heard that about what was the quarterback? He was here. Dang, his name was on the tip of my tongue. He went to West Virginia. God dog it. But anyway, that was the thing they were saying about him. Everybody said with TVD. That was the same that, no, TVD was elite in 2021. He was very elite. Dang, what was that dude name? Jack Allison. They said Jack Allison is used to Jack Allison, he didn't have good statistics because he didn't play on a good team. That's what they said. I remember that, Jack Allison. Because the pseudos kept saying it. The one thing our last quarterbacks have in common, they weren't allowed to grow an offense. Sterling, I cannot agree with you more. I promise. You said that you said a mouthful right there. They have not been able to grow in the offense. But yeah, that's what they said about Jack Allison. And he ended up transferring to West Virginia. But that's what they said. Like, oh, well, Jack, he didn't have the best talent around him, so don't really worry about the number. That's what they said about Judd. Said the same thing about Judd. Evaluation over stars. Y'all are pseudo talent evaluators. Y'all don't know what y'all talking about. Y'all know what y'all talking about. But anyway, man, like I said, this is bothering me that I have to click on the names and I can't just read the comments. But man, I guess I go live later this week, man. Talk about UVA. Hopefully, whatever this little issue is cleared up. But if any of y'all know Clemson fans, any of them, just let them know when they get a good team again. Since we won, they can come on back down to Dade. They can come on back down to they can come on back down to the they can come on back down to Hard Rock Stadium, and we can line up and run again. So, Kirby Freeman over Kyle Wright. QB is a never-ending cycle. Why Blount do us like that? Pilo, like I said, hey, recruiting, hey, that's a. Hey, I'm glad you brought that up. I was on Twitter last night, and this guy, he he had a very disparaging remark to make about the situation. And did you see how we split up the defense, calling plays in? I didn't see that, Sterling. I didn't see that. And so Groove checked him, and I came back. I was like, bro, like you're taking this more serious than the actual people that play the game. It's like you would think that the Miami Hurricane players and the Florida State Seminoles of the 90s and the 2000s. Again, I'm not saying if you feel a way about it, that's cool, right? I'm not talking about that. But when you go public with it and saying stuff about a child that you're not gonna say in front of their parent, that's when I get a problem with it, right? So, that's how I feel about it. Recruiting is messy. Recruiting very messy. It's very messy. But yeah, and again, same thing. Everybody wanted Stephen Morris over Ja'Cory Harris. I mean, it happens. It happens. But I don't know, man. I don't know. But yeah, man, like I said, some fans do too much. Hell, I don't even know if they fans. I'm really really. I think that these individuals, they weren't loved properly as children, and they live vicariously through a football program, not through a player, but they're living vicariously through a football program. Yo, Shot, did you see TVD gonna play versus? Yeah, I saw that. And you know what? When I seen the report that Coach Cristobal said TVD was good to go, the first thing I thought about V12. And when V12 made mention that, could we sit TVD down? Now, obviously, again, you don't make this declaration and say, hey, we're gonna sit you down versus Clemson. You don't want to do that, right? But I know many people was like, well, he ain't got a headset on, he ain't got an iPad, he ain't got all that different type of stuff like that. But I really think that maybe you could get away with it against this Clemson team. I don't think if this year Clemson team was last year Clemson team, I think they probably would have put TVD out there. And I think that, we were better than this team. Now, some stuff could have happened, but we took care of business. But I think we can, I think we will see something different. But I'm happy TVD's coming back. Because, regardless of what some people say, I feel like he does give us the best opportunity to win. And I think we got like QB. I put it on Twitter. I'm like, the Hurricanes gave us everything that the fans have been wanting the entire season, and people still found a reason to be mad about something. We threw the ball to other people aside from X. We got Bashard the ball. We cut down on the turnovers. Offensive line played better, and y'all want to see Emery play. All of that stuff, and now people found reason to be mad about the play calling. Obviously officiating, it is what it is. I'm upset about the Jakari situation, so I guess I fall into that category well. But all in all, man, it was a good win, man. And hopefully we have enough left in the tank because I just saw Najee Kelly. He's out for the rest of the season, so that's gonna be a blow. But next man up, unfortunately. But we're gonna need that defensive line to kind of play at this particular, somewhat of a level like that. Like I say, Dean is back and Thomas Gore, like all those guys are still there. Jerry Harrison Hunt. So I mean, we still got some guys that we can roll in, linebackers. We can roll them in or whatever. But we need to get that situated. I like the way Emery didn't fold. Yeah, I like he didn't fold. I agree. Emery spread the ball around in the screen pass activity. Hey, and QB with that comment. Hey, I'm out. Hey, but as always, man, like, share, subscribe, comment, and go Canes.